Good evening, all, and welcome back. Oops, I forgot my microphone. We are live, and this is what happens when we are live. Let me try and find it. If not, you can hear me. Keep it going. Roll the titles. How could I forget my microphone? Are you joking me? How unprofessional. Apologies. Listen, welcome back to Irons United for our transfer show. We are doing these on a regular occasion. Let me just remind you that we are talking about players that West Ham are particularly linked to. And we're just going through some of the stats, their history, what they could potentially bring to the club. As we know, there's rumours left, right and centre. So just bear with us. We are not by no means saying to you that West Ham are definitely going to sign these players. We are not in the nose, but just stick with us. Anyway, let's get straight into it. First up, West Ham have set sights on QPR winger Eberechi Eze in a deal that could see Jordan Hugill head in the opposite direction. So I'm going to get some images and throw them up for you so you can see who we're talking about. QPR are holding out for as much as £20 million for Eze, who's also attracting interest from a whole host of clubs, including Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Newcastle and West Brom, just to name a few. Although West Ham are unlikely to be able to spend heavily, we have indicated that we're prepared to make funds available to sign the 22-year-old. Eze is one of those most exciting young players in the Championship. He is at his best in the number 10 position and finished the season with 14 goals, including a stunning effort for QPR in the season-ending 2-2 draw, which did lead to West Brom being automatically promoted last week. West Ham, of course, are determined not to sell Declan Rice to Chelsea, and their interest is, of course, hotting up. And we're aiming to recruit young and hungry players from the lower leagues. We signed Jared Bowen from Hull for £22 million in January, and the winger played a key role in us avoiding relegation. West Ham, of course, like I've said, face plenty of competition for Eze, particularly, like I said, from Crystal Palace. Roy Hodgson's side have been tracking him for a long time and don't want to miss out, and they actually back in January had a transfer fee agreed, but the deal fell through at the last minute. Eze, who is 21, has had spells at Arsenal, Fulham and Millwall at youth level before getting released at 16. Often seen as a luxury player in systems that require high aggression and long direct play, he's used to seeing the short end of the stick. After trailing at several Football League clubs, he signed for QPR in 2016 after impressing the technical director, Chris Ramsey. He briefly went on loan for the 17-18 season at Wycombe Wanderers, before returning to QPR and becoming a regular under Steve McLaren in 2018-19 season. And now under Mark Warburton's style of play, he's moulded in around Eze. He's given him pretty much like a playground to play on in the opposition half. And my word, does the guy and does the geezer take it. He's been capped at England under 20 and under 21 level, but he's also eligible to represent Nigeria due to his Nigerian ancestry. He's an advanced playmaking creative midfielder, and Mark Warburton's side prefer to play a 4-2-3-1 formation, with Eze operating from either the left or central position. He has a license to roam free, finding smart pockets where he can cause the opposition problems. Now listen, that is exactly what we're missing. He prides his game around high technical ability, leaving defenders for dead using his dribbling, passing and shooting. He's extremely comfortable on the pitch in all positions. Not many people have that ability to be comfortable in any position. He can receive the ball from the back and he can comfortably get out of difficult circumstances. His awareness of space is also something he's showing that he has an edge on, whether it's joining the midfield to create overloads, link-ups, or join the forward line. We see more intelligence the more games he features in. Alongside that, he's making the right decisions that both benefit himself individually and the team, making him a good team player overall. Let's have a look at his stats and get your comments in below and let me know your thoughts on Eze. Individually, I have saw him play a few times and I really, really, really like this guy. I've done a transfer video on the Brentford players yesterday, and between the two of them, yeah, I do like them both. But for me personally, I've got to go all out and try and bring in this guy. Now, I know there's a big transfer fee of potentially 20 million, but we do have Jordan Hugill in the ranks. Of course, Jordan Hugill scored 15 goals on loan for QPR this season, and they are keen to keep him at the club. So would you put him as part of the deal? How much is he valued at? That's the query. We brought him in for between 9 and 10 million pounds, and will we be able to bring in the funds to recoup any of that money? I doubt it, highly doubt it. But if we could get 5 to 6 million pounds, maybe we could put this towards the transfer fee for Eze. Now, listen, he has played 8 games in the 2017-18 season for QPR, scoring 2 goals. And then he made his real impact in the 2018-19 season, where he played 37 times, starting with 5 subs appearances, scoring 4 goals and 3 assists. But last season in particular, the 2019-20, the one that's just finished, he scored 14 goals and 8 assists. So he is an all-rounder. He can track back, but we are missing that, new, fresh number 10. And maybe this is the guy that we want to bring in and West Ham need. And maybe we fund him because we're going to potentially be looking at selling some of the other players like Lanzini potentially, or Anderson potentially. Now, West Ham is full of number 10s, but we know we need some young blood in the side. And that's something that Moyes keeps saying he's going to be looking at. So what do you think? Do you like the sound of him? I mean, again, have a look at some of his things online. His stats read well, but I hope I've given you some understanding of the style of play and what he could bring to West Ham. I mean, I think he could fit in really nicely around Souček, Declan Rice and Mark Noble, and or whoever plays in that midfield. I think he would definitely add something to us. So get your comments in and let us know your thoughts on that. On top of that, though, Moyes has obviously identified the need to strengthen the defence this summer, and in particular, fans are calling for the fullback department to be looked at. So the next player that West Ham are linked to is the Antonee Robinson from Wigan, who is also a USA international defender. He's 22 years old, and he can play left back, but also can be a left winger. Also, he nearly signed for AC Milan for £6 million in January, but failed his medical at San Siro. He was poised to make the 7-figure move, but he had an irregular heartbeat rhythm, and it showed up in his medical. And he's since had further tests, and when he returned to football without the need of further medical procedures, he's hit the Championship again a light from his position. He progresses forward really well, and he tracks back really well. And of course, like we said, Moyes is trying to bring in younger players into the squad. So yeah, have a think about what he could bring to the side. I mean, he's got international experience, playing for the USA due to some family connections in America. So a little bit about him. He started his youth career at Everton, as you can see from the image we've uploaded. And he has suffered quite a few injuries in his career, actually. He was sidelined when he appeared for the under-21s towards the end of the 14-15 season from quite a bad injury. He then, again in the 15-16 season, was sidelined with a cartilage under his kneecap, and he had to have an operation with that. But he did manage to sign another year's contract extension. And he's went on to win accolades and trophies at Everton. So he's turned it around for himself. And he then, of course, signed for Wigan after going on loan to Bolton Wanderers in the 2017-18 season. Then he went on loan to Wigan for the 18-19 season, where he signed for Wigan in 2019 permanently. And he's appeared for Wigan 36 times, pretty much most of last season. But we do know that they have, of course, went into administration, and they have been given a 12 points deduction. Now, they have been relegated to League One, but they are potentially challenging that decision. But when he returned to the club, in particular from this side of the pandemic, Paul Cook's side from Wigan have just turned it around, and they've performed top level. So you do feel like you do feel a bit sorry for any club that goes into administration, and you do feel that maybe clubs are going to take advantage of like the larger clubs are going to take advantage of the talent that these smaller clubs have. And it's rumoured that we could potentially get a hold of him for just over $1.5 million. And that obviously meets West Ham's transfer budget. So what do you think? Do you think that would be a good signing? Let me know in the comments below. What he does do, though, is, like I said to you, he's got the ability to attack, but he always tracks back into the position, offering support to his peers in his defence. Mix that again with his international experience, and this deal could be the one that West Ham definitely want to get over the line. I mean, we're linked with players after players. But listen, get your comments in. Let me know what your thoughts are below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. The two in particular players potentially incoming to West Ham are Eze from QPR, who I really like and I would absolutely take. Yes, and I would pay the fee. What would you be willing to pay for him? And it may include Jordan Hugill going out the opposite way. And then, of course, Antonee Robinson from Wigan. And let's remember, I mean, it's not every day you hear of a championship player being linked to AC Milan, and due to just an irregular heart rhythm, which has all been checked out and he's all clear, has now made him come back into the football fold, and he's playing with no problems at all. So let me know your thoughts on the two potential signings and the one outgoing. And yeah, tune in over the next few days. We'll be doing a few more transfer videos, and we'll be getting as many of them out to you as we possibly can. Like I said, let me reiterate, we're not telling you 100% we're going to be signing these players, but it's giving you a little bit of insight. Hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. And I've been Anton. This is Iron United. Come on.